Well, I got myself a new dot matrix printer today. Well, actually, I got it about 3 days ago, but finally took it out of the car. This is a relatively rare printer. This is a color Citizen dot matrix printer, 24 pin, so it's letter quality. It does have a 4-color ribbon, and let's take a look at it. Like all dot matrix printers, the primary page feed source is tractor feed, which is accessible by removing this panel, and there it is. The standard width, nothing special there. But what I like about this printer is it has one of the best sheet feeders I've ever seen on any dot matrix printer. This panel simply flips up and locks in place, and you take your single sheet. Now this is only a single sheet feeder, and watch what happens. Automatically feeds the page and cues it right up to where it has to be. I'm going to pull open this cover to show you a few other things. Like the Apple Image Writer, this selects the colors on the color ribbon by changing the height of the ribbon. And the motor is right here, and it simply adjusts it to one of 4 settings. This is the 24-pin head, and here's the black ribbon if you choose only to print black. The problem with these color dot matrix printers, aside from obvious image quality limitations, is the fact that the colors bleed through contamination on all 4 bands. So once the ribbon has gone around about 2 or 3 times, they really start to look nasty. This particular ribbon actually is frayed at the bottom edge, and I'm going to have to find a replacement if I intend to use this printer. And I actually have found the ribbons. They're about $30 on a couple of websites I found. So they're still out there. So let's take a look at the menu system. This has what's called the Command View 3, which is something that really caught my eye when I saw that. When I first saw the printer, I thought, oh, that's really nothing. It just has a couple of buttons and some lights. It's better than that. This main selector switch has 4 settings, which changes the function of all 4 of these keys. Watch what happens when I move this selector switch. So it changes the function, and it changes the label as well. But it's even cooler than that. Let's say I want to change the print style or the print face. I select Style, and I move over to this selector switch, and then I select the style I want to use. And the print mode. So I can do a forward page print, a copy mode, I think that's duplicates of everything. Font lock, or condensed. I don't know what these are exactly. I have to look at the manual that I don't have. But of course, pitch is, 80s and 90s terminology for size. So 10 characters per inch, 12 characters per inch, or 15. Proportional, I believe, uses the computer's, I believe, true type font size. So you can select it on the computer and not on the printer. See, in the early days, when you printed a print job, it depended on what fonts were installed in the printer as to what would show up on the page. So the printer would take the raw data from the computer and select the font that matches what you selected on the computer. If it doesn't have that built-in font, I believe it would use something like Courier or some default font. That was actually, I've got that wrong. If you selected, no matter what font you selected, it would print it in whatever font the printer had built in. So you could do, here are the fonts that were available back then: Script, Order, Draft, High Draft, Roman, Sans Serif, Courier, or Prestige. So you would print using, it's been so long since I've done this, but you would basically select the font on the printer end, not on the computer end, like if you're using WordPerfect 5.1 or something. So we can switch this back to online, and this is how we turn the printer online. And this is the park load, line forward, or form feed, and quiet save. That's it. So the online key indicator is on. But I'm going to show you this Command View 3 system. Now, this is really bizarre. I've never seen anything like it. What you would do is, in the old days, you would have dip switches. Unlike, so for instance, the old Epson printers, the LQ and FX series, you would print out a dip switch setting page. And then you would adjust the dip switches by removing a cover like this one, which is really just a font cartridge slot. I can't get enough, nothing to see in there anyway. And then you would select whatever settings you wanted based on what dip switch settings you wanted. So in this one, you select the View Print option, hold down the menu key, and it would print a color page. Watch how it changes colors here. Cool. And now this tells you how to select the printer settings. So if I wanted to change the ribbon, okay, I would, according to this, hit the select key. Whichever one the print head was pointed at, that would be the setting I wanted to choose. So I'm going to choose color, and then I'm going to hit save. So then it highlights the color I chose, or the option I chose. In this case, it highlights it in red, and it changes it. Isn't that cool? So ASF, I don't know, I think it's ASF1 or ASF2. I think it's automatic sheet feed. So I'm going to not change anything, so I'm just going to hit save. Or, I think I hit menu. Yeah. Okay, so nothing's changed. Emulation, Epson or IBM. Default font selection. I'm not going to change anything there, so I'm just going to hit menu for the next one. Pitch, which is basically character size, 10 CPI. I'm going to leave that. Font lock. I don't want to change anything there. Page layout, quad print off or on, off. Line spacing. Form length. I have it selected to letter, so I'm going to leave that alone. Page skip is off. Text direction, bidirectional. So that would communicate between the printer and the computer versus computer to printer. Graphic direction, it should be bidirectional, so I'm going to select bidirectional. So I'm going to hit save because that's where the head is pointed. See? Okay. So now it's going to highlight bidirectional. Oh, it changed it. /0 off or on. We don't want that, so off. Character set, italics or graphics. International character set, USA is selected. Isn't this amazing? Tear off is on, I want that to be on, okay. Paper out, enable. Auto line forward, that's off. Copy mode is off. Envelope is off. I think that secondary settings will be saved. Now you can see the alignment is a wee bit off because red is bleeding into blue. So I'll have to figure out why that's doing that. But this is what a color printout looks like on a color.matrix. Hope you've enjoyed. Put the cover back on, and hopefully someday I'll move this thing upstairs and hook it up to the IBM. Remember when electronics had real power switches? Just like that. Off.